Good day, dear students. Welcome to our new lesson entitled Psychology in America. This is still part of our lesson entitled Psychology Around the World. After this recorded learning session, I'd like you to differentiate the overview and other essential concepts that I will be presenting here, especially in representative countries such as United States of America, Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil. Okay? America is subdivided into North America and South America. Okay, under the North continent would be the United States of America and Canada, while in the southern part of the continent there are Latin American countries such as Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, among others, but we'll just tackle USA, Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil as representative countries for the American continent for us to have a glimpse on how is psychology practiced, what is the status of psychology, among others. Okay? So let's proceed to our first topic entitled Psychology in the United States of America. Did you know that psychology is a respected profession in USA? Okay, the American public shows a great interest in psychological matters. And of course, psychology is well established in most United States of America universities. It is really evident nowadays, especially in our current references, that there are lots of American psychology practitioners then who have contributed so much for our future, okay, for our present references and resources when it comes to the evidence-based psychology practice. And of course, psychology professionals in America were involved after World War I and World War II, specifically in the provision of aftercare to those who suffered from the adverse effects of these world wars. Okay? And the psychological science in United States is of course subdivided into specialty areas after the World War II, such as social, developmental, and clinical psychology, because they recognize that if they'll be having specialty areas, specialization would be very much helpful and more effective when it comes to service provision. And did you know that psychological research has broadened, which contributed to the evolution of psychology in the United States? It is still evident nowadays that US is really the top, okay, the top country when it comes to research, because they know for a fact that psychological research would help a lot in the evolution of this profession. And psychologists are present across sectors in United States such as media, school, industries, hospitals, military, etc., because they recognize the importance of our role. And when it comes to media, there are advertising psychologists, media psychologists, who are working hand in hand with communication arts graduates and the like, okay, because they really ensure that what they are showing to the public would benefit, or how would an advertisement for a certain product or a certain service capture the hearts and mind of the spectators or viewers. Okay, that's just one of the examples for the importance of psychologists in United States of America. Next, did you know that psychology is really important, especially in high school, because high schools already have basic courses in psychology. If you will compare it here in the Philippines under our senior high school program, they just have the so-called humanities subject, in which there is an integration of a bit of psychology. Okay? And did you know that in the undergrad, psychology is one of the famous elective courses that they have? And they require all college courses needed to take at least one psych course, and it was a prerequisite to their major. During my time when I was studying in St. Louis University, I remember that all courses, engineering man yan or the other, must have a basic course which is entitled Psychology with Drug Prevention. Okay? Without that, of course, they will not be able to enroll on their major courses. Next, The future challenges and prospects. Psychology as a profession will continue to prosper in the future. It is a respected and growing discipline in the United States, and the rate of underemployment is not significant because the more significant one is that more and more psychology graduates land in great jobs. Okay? And psychologists are working multiculturally and interdisciplinary to address varied types of clients. So those are just the important key points, but if you would be able to read in the future other updated references, then well and good. At least you have an anchor when it comes to say what is really psychology for Americans. Okay? For now, your assignment for the northern continent of America, because we did not discuss Canada, kindly research regarding psychology in Canada. Research on this and summarize its evolution, development, current professional practice, cultural variable, if any, and its future prospect or challenge. Answer through a Google form for activity 4 in Global Psych. So I will be uploading a Google form link so that it is there that you could answer, so that we would ensure that no one would be missing, okay, the output, or no output will be missed or misplaced, like that. Okay, so let's proceed to our second topic, psychology in Mexico. Now let us be dwelling in the southern part of the continent, which is composed of Latin America. Okay, this was colonized by the Spaniards, while the northern part of the continent, USA and Canada, was colonized by the British Empire. So how is the evolution of psychology in this part? Mexican psychology was influenced by English positivism and German psychology. Okay, the contemporary psychology was based on psychological testing and statistical methods, which are considered the axis of modern scientific psychology. Psychology in Mexico is a dual discipline. It is, of course, under natural and social sciences. And we could relate nowadays because when we review or scan the subjects for the psychology students, especially in IFSU and in other parts of CHED-regulated higher institutions, they really have lots of natural sciences subjects like forensic chemistry, biochemistry, zoology, anatomy, and the like. Okay, because this is very essential when it comes to the practice of psychology in the future. And of course, there are also anchors in the social sciences, because we know for a fact that we are and we will be working with people when it comes to the psychology practice or counseling practice. So, what are the future challenges and prospects in the Mexican psychology? Psych is in Mexico is well-established scientific discipline. Well, because this has been influenced by the Northern American continent. The challenge would stem from socioeconomic conditions affecting education. Okay, because Mexico is a bit similar to the educational system of the Philippines, okay? And we could attribute that to how Spaniards have colonized the Latin Americans, the Philippines, and the like. Okay, but then nonetheless, psychology is still well-established scientific discipline in Mexico. However, it is still grappling with challenges brought by globalization. Okay, nangangapa pa ang Mexico when it comes to globalization, because we know for a fact that there are lots of adverse effects when it comes to globalization, like the natural environment of Mexico, which is gradually turning into the globalized side of industries and the like, and it really affects the lifestyle of the Mexicans. Okay, there are many online universities which are emerging, which give dubious quality courses in psychology, and they will just release certificates, diplomas easily, and the regulation for these online universities has not been established. That's why the physical universities those who are with physical campuses, are complaining because of this online universities which are not regulated. So this is one of the challenges that Mexico is facing. And of course, support from North America has been a collegial expression of goodwill. They are very accepting of this. And of course, Mexican psychology is alive and well. Okay, so those are the key points. And you have an assignment based on the relevant concept that I have discussed a while ago. So kindly make a reaction paper, a very brief one. What is your reaction to one of the challenges in Mexican psychology, which pertains to the rapid growth of online universities that offer psychology degree and instant diplomas? Okay, if you could relate this to what is really happening right now because of the COVID, that we already have online classes, offline classes, and the like. And naranasan naman pala ng Mexican psychology yung ganito kahit walang COVID noon. Okay? That they really are into not approving the growth of Mexican online psychologists offering Mexican psychology. Okay? So answer through Google Form, Global Psych Activity 4 in one paragraph only. I would just like to grasp your explanation, your reaction, your perspective, okay? And I hope to read valid and of course very substantial reaction from juniors like you. So let's proceed to our topic 3. Let's fast track this. Psychology in Brazil. Brazil is still under South America, one of the Latin countries. Okay? How is psychology evolving in Brazil? Brazil has more psychologists than any other country in the world. Oh, wow. This is a very nice indicator that psychology is really growing internationally, isn't it? Psychology is a respected profession therein. Majority are practicing in urban areas. Okay, this is one of the challenges because lots of psychology graduates are really practicing in the urban areas. Okay, psychology has been first affiliated to philosophy and taught in Brazilian Jesuit schools. Okay, we cannot deny the fact that psychology really stemmed from the faculty of philosophy. Okay, but then it really evolves separately because philosophy is mainly from the art, intuition, and the like. However, psychology is more on the science. Okay? So, yun yung debate noon. Kaya, ang psychologist nag-separate from the philosophy. Okay? What are the future challenges and prospects in Brazil? Brazil is already quite international in substance and receptive to global trends. Wow. Okay, if you would differentiate this to the preceding countries that I have discussed who are still grappling in the globalization, it is otherwise or the opposite for Brazil because they are receptive to global trends. And psychologists are integral and respected members of interdisciplinary teams in most Brazilian institutions and workplaces as well. Brazil is rapidly a developing country. Dedication to democratic principles, respect for diversity, and general optimism are leading Brazil into strong economic and social development. Wow. What an ideal sentence or what an ideal description for Brazil and its psychologists. Brazil already is international in its flavor. Graduate of psych programs in this country could perhaps serve as an alternative model to other communities. Wow, the psych program daw could be a model to other countries. Very nice. So those are the key points which I have selected and shared with you. Now, one of your assignments for this lesson would be a research and a reaction. So research on one cultural practice of Brazil and decipher its influence on their psychology or vice versa. Okay, answer through Google Form Global Psych Activity 4 in one paragraph only. Okay, so that's it for our very brief lesson when it comes to psychology in America. if you could notice, the activities that I have given you are all in essay type, okay? Because I'd like you to expound more on your ideas. I'd like you to research on relevant knowledge or relevant concepts which would widen or broaden your ideas as well. Okay, I believe this would prepare you on how you'll tackle your research and the other manuscript that you will be preparing for your major subjects in your fourth year. Okay, so kindly stand by for your Google form link so that you'll be able to answer gradually the activities. Okay, so good luck. I hope that you have grasped the key points, the important concepts when it comes to how is psychology evolving in the northern and the southern part of the continent of America. So thank you so much and good luck.